Got it. Yay. Okay, ladies, well, welcome to week 6, if you can believe it already. I know we mentioned this last week, but we're here for the long haul. This is a marathon and not a sprint. And I think that hit a lot of us last week, where it was like, oh, school might not be starting. There's talking about social distancing through September and beyond. And so as we move forward, we want to continue, or I encourage you to have that nurturing compassion, being able to gently ride the waves of what comes up, knowing that some days or some weeks might be harder than others, but that we get to lean on our practices. Just for any of us who run, I remember one of the things that my coach would always say, when you're exhausted, lean into your form, and I think that often, even with my spiritual practice, is that it's like when you're, lean into that form, lean into all this reflective work that you've been doing day in and day out, through, your mind-body practice, yoga, meditation, journaling, exercise, family time. I mean, there's so many ways that mind-body spirit practice shows up for us. So again, joining here today is one awesome example that I love to see you practicing, but I know that week in and week out, you're continuing to do that practice at home, and it shows. So continue to lean into that. I had mentioned before I started recording too, that one of the things that I noticed this week is that new moon energy. And for those of you who maybe don't follow the cycle of the moon, around new moon, that is a time for setting intention. And it's often the time when women are in their moon cycle, they're bleeding. And so they talk about historic practices of women who were bleeding being sent to the woods. And when I first heard that 15 years ago, I thought, oh my gosh, that's horrendous. But what it was a practice for women to go and be together quietly in the woods to nurture themselves and each other, right? They literally think of that. Think if you got to step away for a week. That's like a hotel where you go and you're not taking care of the kids and you're not dropping them off at school and you're not cooking and you're not cleaning. I mean, it was a sacred time to nurture themselves and to be together and to be with nature. Wow. Like, again, the woods sound crazy, but at the time that would have been like, go into the embassy suites. So anyhow, I encourage you to continue to notice, if you haven't already done so, how you feel with the cycles of the moon and whether or not you bleed or don't bleed, but just notice how the moon affects you, because I've been following it for years. And even so, when I lose a little connection, this week, for example, I overbooked, and the moon, it was a new moon, and I'm wondering, why am I feeling this way? A little more depleted. And I realized this is my woods time. This is the time that I am supposed to really, kind of one-line things off the social calendar and really come in. So anyway, just wanted to share a little bit of my personal, my week and my moon practice. And maybe when we meet next time, or if you want to send me a message or throw it in the chat, I'd love to hear about how your body emotional responds throughout the moon cycle. And we'll probably continue to talk about it in some of our upcoming calls. And I may even do a moon journaling workshop in the future. So anyway, to stick with our time, let's get started. I'm going to add the mantra in the chat so everyone can see. There we go. Perfect. If you can't see that, you can let me know. So as always, we start our practice off with this just amazing mantra. And I'll read it once and explain as a reminder, and then chant it 3 times. Om Asatoma sat gamaya, tamasoma joitir gamaya, mrichorma amritam gamaya. So this opens with Om, right? That first eternal sound, that sacred sound. And we're asking here during this chant to be taken from untruth to truth. Sat is truth. Gamaya is may I be led. So lead me to truth. Tama joitir gamaya. Tama is darkness, heaviness, stagnation. So being led from that to light, joy, really that we know that feeling of lightness, both in brightness and in that physical quality. Mritorma amritam gamaya. Here we're asking to be led from death to eternal life. And again, I encourage you to apply whatever meaning death and eternal life has to you. Again, even thinking of that eternal life in the most universal way as a flower, right? Life, death, rebirth cycle, continually living, connected to each other, this ongoing life. So again, I always encourage you, if you want to unmute yourself, you can sing along. If you want to sing in your own space, great. Whatever is calling to you today, that's what you should do. But I will chant this here for us 3 times. Om Masatoma Sakamaya, Tamasoma Joitir Gamaya, Mritorma Mritam Gamaya. Om Masatoma Sakamaya, Tamasoma Joitir Gamaya, Mritorma Mritam Gamaya. Om Masatoma Sakamaya, Tamasoma Joitir Gamaya, Mritorma Mritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Om. Lovely. So if your eyes are already closed, you can go ahead and keep them closed, and we'll move from our chanting into our meditation today. With your eyes still closed, you can continue to connect with your breath, gently inhaling and exhaling. As you connect to your breath, you begin to bring your consciousness to your heart center. Noticing the breath as it reaches your lips. Noticing where the inhale meets the exhale. And maybe even beginning to notice your heartbeat. As you quiet down, you might feel that pulse, that sensation in your chest, but you might feel it in your hands. You might still yourself enough to notice that pulse throughout your body. As you continue connecting to your breath, you allow any thoughts to float by, like clouds in the sky, observing, never judging or analyzing, not trying to grasp them in vain, but just acknowledging them, inviting them to come, and inviting them to go. Maybe even smiling at those silly thoughts, those thoughts that are trying to distract you, that want to take your attention. But notice how when you acknowledge them, they begin to disperse. That power of acknowledgement and surrender brings your attention and your energy back into yourself and allows those thoughts to dissipate. Here, connected with our body and breath, we become fully present in this moment, resting here in our seat, maybe our feet against the ground. We can feel Mother Earth supporting us, knowing that we are fully supported in every moment, that nothing we do or don't do will ever remove that eternal, maternal support we are offered. Continuing to connect to our breath, acknowledging that this breath is our life force. Acknowledging that as this life force runs through us, our body is a temple of the Spirit. And we are one with the universal divine. I invite you now to continue deepening your breath as we begin our 3-part breath. Inhaling and expanding first into our belly, then our side ribs, and finally lifting gently through our chest. On an exhale, we release through the chest, contract through those side ribs, and bring our belly button closer to our spine. Inhale, belly, side ribs, chest. And exhale, chest, side ribs, belly. Letting each inhale be an invitation, a refreshing, cleansing breath, a chance for newness, healing, re-energizing every cell in our body. And with each exhale, we release, detoxify, let go, and surrender. Cleansing and making space for our next inhale. This breath is a sacred dance of divine masculine and feminine, of give and take. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. As you continue with your 3-part breath, I invite you to silently repeat the mantra, Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Inhaling Aham and exhaling Brahmasmi. This mantra is one of co-creation, acknowledging that we are the co-creator of miracles. With each breath, we energize the intentions of our hearts. Aham Brahmasmi. Here in this moment, we acknowledge the infinite divine possibilities, knowing that here in this moment, in every moment, the universe supports us. Aham Brahmasmi. I am the co-creator of miracles. I experience miracles in every aspect of my life. Everywhere I look, I see and experience miracles. Aham Brahmasmi. As you continue with your 3-part breath, silently repeating your mantra, I encourage you to bring your awareness to your heart center. And there at your heart center, notice what feeling is there for you. What divine message, what truth, what miracle is budding there at your heart. Acknowledging that the desires of your heart are divine desires. That as a co-creator, seeds have been planted in your heart. Seeds to be nourished, grown, and brought forth, not only to fulfill your life and purpose, but to serve others, to carry out your role as the co-creator of miracles. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. There at your heart center, you may be feeling love, connectedness, creativity, joy, love of nature, harmony, grace, beauty. Even if you can't name this miraculous feeling here at your heart, be with that feeling. And with each breath, let that feeling grow, growing to encompass your chest, reaching past your shoulders and hips, above your head, past your knees. And let this feeling be a globe around you, a beautiful orb. Acknowledging that this feeling, that this miracle you hold in your heart, by sharing and expanding and letting this shine, you become a light and bridge for others. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Slowly and gently now begin to bring that light, that ball surrounding you in, letting it shrink closer and closer to the center of your chest until it becomes a flicker, a flame there at your heart center. Aham Brahmasmi. On an inhale, I invite you to bring your palms together, letting the backs of your thumbs rest against your chest. And on an exhale, let your chin fall towards your fingertips as you bow in. Begin to release your 3-part breath. Begin to release your mantra. Take another moment to notice that feeling that you hold in your heart, that seed, that gift, acknowledging that wherever you are, you carry that within you. Acknowledging that you are the co-creator of miracles. We'll end our meditation with one sing of the singing bell. Slowly and gently as you're ready, I invite you to roll your shoulders down and away from your ears. Begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Begin to come back into this space. And when you're ready, slowly and gently begin to flutter your eyes open. Ladies, as always, thank you so much for being here. I love having you always. And I'm going to end the recording, but if anyone wants to stay on after, I'd love to hear what came up for you.